well, 5-0-1. So we'll get things underway. It'll be Dayton ball to start things off tonight. Andy Sanchez at mid-pitch getting ready to kick things off here. And there's the ref's whistle. We are underway. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the broadcast, folks. It'll be interesting to see who's the early aggressor in this match. Dayton played last week against VCU in their last outing, a 3-1 victory over the Rams. But the two goals that put Dayton on top didn't come until the last 8 minutes of play. The Rams really came to play here last Saturday night. So Dayton back with possession here in their defensive third, and they kick it out of play over by the Red Scare, who's here tonight in full force. Nice to see them back. Last week we didn't have nearly as big of a crowd. It was the fall break for University of Dayton, and many of the students were at home or other places, so it's good to have the supporters back out here tonight.
Yeah, it should be a good atmosphere tonight. There's nothing better, great field, quite a good crowd out here underneath the lights, lovely weather, great conditions, and I would expect the first 10-15 minutes here are going to be frenetic. It's just going to be a 100 miles an hour tempo, trying to feel each other out. Progressively as the half wears on, things should settle down a little bit.
St. Louis now in Dayton vying for possession down near the Dayton goal. And they will clear it back to midfield, will the Flyers. St. Louis follows it back up once again. And a whistle and a foul at midfield.
Maybe slightly on the softer side, but being ahead, not going to take a second here just to make sure everything's okay. Didn't seem to be a great deal wrong with it, but again, referee's right on top of things, and he's obviously decided there was a little bit too physical, and an early chance here for the Billikens to deliver a good set piece.
Well, that's John Klein, the star of the St. Louis team. And the aforementioned John Klein leading the team once again in goals this season. Klein with 6 goals, 3 assists this year. And like we mentioned during the pregame, he's got 25 career goals and 25 assists. He's only one of 2 active players in NCAA Division I with those kind of numbers. So they set up here with a set piece. Klein will be the one to kick it in toward the box. It's headed up high and over top of the goal, so no threat there early on.
Good delivery, though, from Klein. He's whipping it in there with the right foot. You know exactly what he's going to do. Whips it into a good area. It's a free header in the end for the Billikens, but a little bit too much underneath it and easy for Catan just to see it over the bar.
Yeah, Klein with a very nice touch on the ball there, no doubt about it. Again, both these teams just trying to feel each other out. Ball goes out of bounds on the far side. It will be a throw-in.
Yeah, clearly looks like there's going to be a long throw coming here from St. Louis, just the way everything's setting up. You would like to think the Flyers have done their homework here and know to expect this.
Well, and Seth Anderson now retreating. He was up close there for a moment. Heading back that way, but a long throw is coming. That goes all the way in toward the box. Headed back out by the Flyers.
Yeah, it's good from Day. That's what you're wanting there. Just first header, get up, get it out your box, get your back line out and step up.
And that ball will go out for a goal kick. So Dario Catano, the keeper for the Flyers. Junior keeper, having quite a season for himself, as you would imagine. Flyers this year averaging .69 goals against per game and averaging 2.69 goals for them per game. They lead the nation in shots per game, second in scoring offense, fourth in goal differential and total goals.
This is better from Dayton here. This is what they're wanting to do tonight. They want to get on the ball, just start to play their game. They're the home field. They want to be the dominant team. They want to be knocking it around. Like I said, first couple of minutes been a little bit frenetic, but now Dayton from the back. They've worked it forward here today. Much better play.
Dayton now in their attacking third, or the St. Louis attacking third, I should say. Brings the ball to the near side. Touch there by Joseph Melo Cuilla. Flyers trying to set something up here, and St. Louis will knock it out of bounds. They'll get a throw in.
It's a player they're going to have to watch tonight. Meltoquia, he can be in and out of games, but he plays off this left-hand side, and what he looks to do is he looks to come inside every time on his right foot, and as soon as he gets inside, you know he's going to look to take a strike. We see a foul here given in a dangerous area. Manny Day does well, gets his body in front of it. He's a little bit slow to get up here, but certainly a free kick, and again, referee right on top of it straight away.
Well, Manny looks like he's okay there. Gets up, checks things out, make sure everything is still in place, and the Flyers will have the ball here. Here's another look at the foul.
It's a little bit of a stray pass initially from Omar, but Day does really well. He rescues a bad pass. Bit of a lunging tackle. Day just gets his body across. No doubt about the free kick in a dangerous area now for Sanchez potentially, or Omar just to deliver the ball in for Brown to go attack it, for the big guys for the back to go attack it.
Into the box, St. Louis clears it back out to midfield. A little kick back there. Just over 4 minutes into the game. We thank you for joining us wherever it is you're watching from tonight. St. Louis now advancing it down the field on the near side, and that one will slowly but surely trail out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in for the Flyers.
Yeah, it's the right idea. He's just trying to play the ball down the channel and run onto there. Just not quite the delivery they're looking for. Dayton get the ball back in their own third.
So back out to midfield, the Flyers lose possession of it. A no call there on that interaction. Much to the surprise of the Flyer and the Flyer faithful.
Great idea from Jones Riley. Just gets a bit too much on it. Outside of the right foot, he sees Day is going to get away into lots of space. Tries to clip him in, just over clubs it. Ball runs out of play. Danger on that right-hand side, though, comes from Dayton. Jones Riley so fast when he joins up with the attack.
This is Lane Warrington now for St. Louis with the throw-in. Back out to midfield. Being volleyed around. And St. Louis will bring it back down into the Dayton defensive third. Kicked back out by Catano. Lots of back and forth action here early on. Fast pace. And Ian, like you said, this will slow down a little bit. Both these teams just trying to see what the other team has here initially.
A couple of physical challenges we've already seen in the middle of the park there. I think it might be Omar. It's slow to get up to his feet there. Yeah, it is. He's going to go in hard himself now, and you can expect that tonight. Again, referee's going to have his hands full. First 15 minutes of these games, when there's big ramifications on the line, it's always 100 miles an hour. It's always a little bit chaotic. It'll take 15-20 minutes just to settle things down, and then you'll start to see the shape of both teams and who's actually going to grow into the ascendancy.
So a fight over possession once again. The ball goes out of bounds off of a St. Louis player, and it will be the Dayton Flyers to throw it in. And they move it right along. Another close play right there. As the ball gets kicked away by St. Louis.
You can tell already, Zengi Dayton want to play out the back here. Referee again having to deal with a little bit of afters. Definitely a Flyers ball. Nothing wrong with that decision for me at all. But obviously the Billikens thinking it's theirs, looking to try and take one early on. Zengi needs to be careful with his touch. We know he's got pace. We know how good he is coming out with the ball. A little bit slack with that one and nearly turned the ball over.
Well, both these teams with victories their last time out, but both these teams scoring late in the games as well. St. Louis advancing the ball. Dispossessed there by the Flyers. Now the Flyers trying to set something up here at midfield. Close to a handball there.
Sanchez, he's found the right ball. He's just not giving Meltoquia much of a chance. Puts too much on it, unnecessarily putting it in the area. Get it down and play. And we're now about 10 minutes in. I can start to see the shape of both teams. So Dayton as expected, 4-3-3, nothing different about them, exactly what I would expect from them. St. Louis look to have come here and set up in a 4-4-2, so what that'll do for both teams tonight is Dayton at times will have an extra man in the middle of the park. They should be able to work the ball in the middle of the park and have a bit of an overload at times, but equally from a St. Louis point of view, when they get the ball wide, they might find they get themselves into situations where they've got numbers up and a 2v1 out wide. So really interesting seeing how both teams set up this evening.
Expert analysis right there from Ian Richardson. Flyers once again advancing the ball. Just under 10 minutes into the contest, still no score. Bassett Umar there in the middle gets rid of it. They take it out to the far side, and St. Louis will kick it out once again.
Yeah, looks like it might have flicked off Jones Riley on the way out as well. It's going to be a Billikens ball.
Sure did. Now the Billikens looking to toss it back in. St. Louis advancing the ball. Got a little bit ahead of steam down here. Does Klein.
Nothing in that. Official's right. He's right there. It's going to be a call to the Billikens. It's a good spin and run in behind. The pace to get in behind from Klein, but again, Zengi's recovery pace. He gets back there. He just leans on him. Nothing more than that. Clears the ball. But a chance again for the Billikens here from the corner kick.
So Strandberg from the corner will send it in. And a good save there by Catano as it ricocheted around a little bit in the box.
It's another chance. I think it's Suarez actually gets his head on the corner. That's two balls now we've seen played into the box here from the Billikens early on. Two chances, two headers. Okay, not the greatest chances on target, but warning signs for the Flyers here.
So Flyers advancing the ball once again. Again, like we mentioned earlier, these two teams in the top three of the standings of the Atlantic 10, so big implications for what's about to happen here in a week when they get the Atlantic 10 tournament underway. Top 8 teams will make it into the tournament this year, as always. If we were to finish up today, that would be Duquesne and St. Louis and Dayton, of course, Rhode Island, Loyola, LaSalle, UMass, and Fordham. Of course, other games happening around the A-10 tonight will have implications as well as to who will make it and what the seeds will be once the tournament gets underway.
Better from Dayton again, trying to work it around the edge of the box. Not quite coming off for them, but they've still kept control of the ball here as Sanchez looks out wide to Manny Day.
Really just a case of too many blue shirts around that one. Flyers bring it back down just outside of the box. They move it out wide, back toward midfield. Sanchez back to the middle, and that one will go out back.
Suarez gets his clearance all wrong, slices it behind for the Flyers. Corner, first corner for them this evening, and that comes off the back of the best minute of play they've had so far. Again, around the edge of the box, you talk about Omar and Sanchez and their close control, trying to work the opening. We'll have Zengi coming up here from the back, trying to use his height.
Well, Sanchez put a little curve on that ball, but Carlos Tofern goes up and makes the play.
Tofern collects it comfortably. You'd expect your keeper underneath the crossbar to deal with it. He almost misjudges the flight and actually comes by it, but ends up recovering it nice and easy.
Tofern, 6'3", is the St. Louis keeper. So Sanchez once again over to the far side. Flyers advancing the ball. It's up, And it is deflected back, but right at the feet. And that will be a corner as well.
Yeah, there's nothing more in that. Sanchez is optimistically asking for a handball. It's never a handball from there. But Miltaquillo again, you know what the quality that he has on this right foot. The ball finds its way to him, tries to cross it, doesn't quite get it in the box, but another chance now for Sanchez to deliver on this near side.
So all the particulars getting in place. Sanchez now lets it rip. In the box, a header.
It's a better delivery. It's not right under the keeper. It's 6 yards. Your keeper either stays on his line or comes out. Tofern decides to stay on his line. Manny Day gets up, gets a free header at it. Doesn't quite put it back across the face of goal. You see him here. He's climbing at the back post. He gets up. It's a free header. It's a good header, but it's past the far post. Best chance so far from Dayton.
So Tofern now with the kick. And he boots it back past midfield. Contact there in the middle.
Yeah, free kick's going to be given against Omar there. It's a bit of a high boot. He's trying to bring the ball down, doesn't see the St. Louis player coming in on his far side, and referee's right next to it again. So far, referee started the game strong.
This will be Klein to take the kick for the Billikens. Team captain's got the pink armband on. And that one into the box and kicked back out by the Flyers all the way back down the field.
Dayton quite happy just to clear their lines, get up, get their shape again. From Klein there, not his greatest delivery. He's already put a dangerous ball into the box. This one he just doesn't quite get enough on it. Easy for Dayton to deal with. Oh, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. Zengi, he's looking for the run of Manny Day. Doesn't quite get the pass right, but that's something that he's added to his game this year. Playing as a centre back, he can step out with the ball. Just looks to be walking a little bit gingerly here after trying to play the pass, actually, Zengi. But it's a great idea as he tries to release Day down the right-hand side.
Well, we're getting to that point of the game, Ian, where both these teams really trying to enlist different types of plays and different looks. Takes it over to the corner. Shuffled around. Dayton will get the ball back.
And to your point, Nick, the last sort of 5 minutes, Dayton have got a bit of control of this game here. And again, it's in the middle of the park. It's this guy Omar. We've seen it all year as a commentator's cuss. He misplays his pass. But they've got a 3v2 advantage in the middle of the park. But what they have got defensively is their two centre backs up against two centre forwards here. As we see trouble.
It finally gets knocked away, and I'm not sure. I think it'll be a corner kick.
Yeah, referee's given a corner. We're slightly concerned when Catan's taking his time getting up here. So it's initially from Brown. He's backtracking. Ball's over his head. He doesn't deal with it initially. He gets the block back in there. As it falls to Klein, naturally slides, trying to get something on the ball. Catan is a goalkeeper. They normally get extra protection. Goes down a little bit easy. He's clearly not happy. There's been a bit of contact on his shin, but I fully expect him to get up here and be fine. And no issue with the referee there. Certainly a corner kick, the right decision.
He's inside.
So Catano making his case with the ref. He'll get back in position here. St. Louis will kick from the far corner. They send it in.
It's another chance. It could be a corner there. A deflection on the near post certainly comes off Svenby. Yep. It's the third ball that St. Louis have put into the box, so they've won the initial header again. Flicked on towards the back post. Sits up nicely for Johnson. It's a good right foot strike. It's always going past the post, so you see initially the flick on at the near post. Sort of falls to Johnson. He thinks, why not take a strike? Hits across it slightly. Probably always going wide, but ball flicks off Svenby on the way by, and it's going to be another Billikens corner.
This will be Strandberg once again taking the corner. Plays it out wide. A header back toward the goal, but wide to the right.
Yeah, nothing comes of it, but again, it's Suarez unopposed winning the header when the ball comes into the box. So certainly, actually, it may have been on that occasion, it may have been Easton that won the header, but certainly there's an aerial threat from the Billikens when they get the big guys forward.
We talk about all the talent on the Dayton team, of course, undefeated on the season. 3 of those are freshman players, Bassett Umar, Casper Spenby, and Joseph Melo Cuya. All 3 of those players top 100.
And Omar, for me, I mean, that's a handball there. He's given the advantage, good advantage by the referees. Dayton try to get in. But Mel Taquio is dangerous, no doubt about it, on this left-hand side. But the guy that makes Dayton tick this season in the middle of the park is Omar. Every time he picks the ball up, again, getting it in space, he just gives and goes, always getting there, always showing for the ball.
Here he goes again.
Winning his team another free kick.
And the foul there is on Umar. He'll be down.
It's going to be the first yellow card of the game. I'm not sure about that one, actually. It's an early yellow card there for Sternberg. And what the referee does, if he goes to his pocket so soon, I mean, we're only 20 minutes into this half here. I understand he's trying to keep a lid on things and make sure it doesn't get out of control. But now every challenge that comes in of any sort of velocity, he's going to have to produce a yellow card. So possibly a little bit early there going to his pocket. I'm not sure that merited a yellow card. Doesn't appear to be particularly malicious. It's just, again, the pace of Omar. Yeah, he kicks him in the shin. It's no doubt it's a foul, but he thinks he's getting to the ball, Sternberg, and then Omar's pace, he's so quick. He just gets there and touches it away. And as I say, yellow card I've seen them given, but now referee sets a rod for his own back that every time there's a foul of that nature, he's going to be getting asked to produce a yellow card.
Well, definitely a dramatic takedown, like you said, part of that on Umar as well. We get some pushing and shoving going on here as everyone is vying for position here on the free kick. All right, let's send it down to Joe on the sidelines. Oh.
Maybe we'll get to see Joe here after the set piece. Just the ball going to get delivered in the box, and now for the Flyers again. Sanchez over it.
We'll check in with Joe here in a little bit.
It's off the training ground. Oh, not sure about that one. Not sure about that one. Dayton work the set piece. They get it all wrong. Sanchez and Omar try to take a quick one, get it all wrong, turn the ball over. St. Louis are away on the break. It's a hand up to protect the ball. Again, referee here. Just got to get a lid on things. It's a hand up to protect the ball. Antwi, I believe it is, he's gone down very, very easily to ground there. Not a free kick in that for me. It's just protecting a ball. I completely understand Coach Kalish there being upset. It's right in front of him. He's seen it. He doesn't think there's a great deal in that. And the referee was quite slow to go to giving the foul as well. And it was a big opportunity for the Billikens on the break if he didn't give the free kick.
Well, it will be Sanchez now with the kick back in toward the middle. Billikens trying to clear it. And Seth Anderson will go down on the far side. There'll be a foul on the Flyers.
It's been very bitty so far. Lots of little knocks in the game just to break things up, and no real fluency to the game so far.
So the keeper comes out. This is Topher, and he's going to kick from the Atlantic 10 logo on the field. Ball being volleyed around once again. Still up in the air.
Yeah, that doesn't suit the Flyers. They're going to want to get the ball down this evening and play and keeping the ball here.
All right, now let's check in with Joe Sullivan, who's down on the sidelines.
Yeah, thanks, guys. A lot of frustration from both of these benches early. I mean, we've seen a few early fouls that have given a few chances for both the Billikens and the Flyers. But nothing going on yet. Some matchups to look out for on the Flyers side of the ball is how they contain John Kalane, who we talked about a lot earlier in this one of the best midfielders in the country. Senior Xavier Zengi and freshman Casper Venby have done a very good job containing him, and the Flyers coaching staff is very happy about it. So a matchup to look for throughout this game. Guys?
Thanks, Joe. We appreciate that. Brogan Townsend comes into the game for St. Louis on a substitution.
Okay. You just wonder if that substitution is to do with the fact that Sternberg's picked up a yellow card already here. As things start to get a little bit feisty in the game, maybe just protecting him at this point, and it's a straight swap so far. Townsend's coming in. He's just coming in on the right-hand side of the four in the midfield.
Well, Ian, you said it, and Joe kind of alluded to it as well. The referee pulling out that yellow card early is setting a precedent for the rest of this game where he's going to have to make similar calls. And both these teams, of course, playing very hard, knowing what's at stake here tonight.
It's always a balancing act for the referee. Like, you want to be on top of things as we see the ball getting whipped into the box here in the direction of Meltoquio, dealt with by the Billikens, going out for a Flyers throw. You want to be on top of things. You want to keep a lid on it, make sure it doesn't bubble over and get out of control. Then you're in for a very long night. But equally, if you go to the book too early, you sort of set yourself up for having to give a yellow card every 50-50 challenge. Every bench, every player's going to be screaming for decisions. And a night, as you say, with the implications are so big this evening, you might find that later on in the game we're struggling here to finish 11 against 11.
So a kick back to Catano. And he'll try to reset things here for the Flyers. More than halfway through this first half, still no score, 0-0.
Big chance here,
chance
numbers
here.
over. Oh, it's a huge save from Catan. Massive save from him there. Billikens get the opportunity. They're 3v1 running in and goal. Flyers trying to play out to make the mistake. Going through on goal. I like the initial decision, just drops his shoulder, comes on his left-hand side. But when you're in that position, you've got to score. Credit to keeper Catan, comes out, makes himself big, but really should be 1-0 Billikens.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No real misdirection on that ball. Went right into Catano. So Meltoquia now with the ball on the near side in the box. Takes it around. Trying to find some help on the inside. Can't do it. St. Louis now will kick it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Flyers. We go back to that last shot. Like you said, they're lucky it's not a 1-0 game.
It's great play initially from Kapola. He drops his shoulder, he goes on his left-hand side, he does everything correct except the finish. Yes, he's made the keeper make a save, but from that position, really got to be scoring. But credit Catan, come off his line, made himself big. He's to thank for the Flyers still being level in this one.
So out to the far side for the Billikens. Seth Anderson kicks it around. It'll go out of bounds. You can hear the Reds scare over on the far side of the field. Like we said earlier, it's good to have them back after last weekend. They were all away for fall break. Here's the throw in from St. Louis. Headed back to the middle of the field. Meltoquia now back to the middle. Flyers looking to set something up here. Gets the ball kicked away briefly.
Yeah, it's good defending from Warrington. 1v1 against Day. Deals with the danger.
So Umar goes down in the middle, but he was untouched. Catano comes way out from the goal to kick that one back down the field.
Yeah, it's good play from him. He recognises the danger. It's the run in behind early from Capilla. He's looking to see if he can get himself in. Catano sees the run, gets out, makes life easy for his Flyers back line.
Over here to the near side, where Umar will send it back into the box. And it's kicked back out immediately by St. Louis.
Yeah, it's settling down ever so slightly. Dayton are getting a bit more control of the ball here as Day looks to use his pace by on the right-hand side.
Curves back around, but that one will go wide.
Yeah, he's just looking to float it up to the back post, but no runner coming in there. Might see Dayton going to the bench here for the first time tonight.
A couple Flyers looking to come into the game. It will be Osasenu Cisse and Michael Adetikin.
And again, I don't expect much difference here from Coach Courier. It looks for like, so Sanchez looks to be the man that's coming off, and Meltoquio hasn't really touched the ball a great deal. It's a bit physical. He's better getting it down. He's more of a technician. He's coming off to now as well, so I expect it'll be like for like changes. You'll probably find Cisse goes to that right-hand side. Maybe Manny Day comes across to the left-hand side where Meltoquio was playing, and Adetikin will just slot into the middle of the park.
Also entering the match for St. Louis is Enzo Opokie. And this will be a throw in once again for the Billikens.
And Warrington definitely has a long throw. He's taken him on both sides, so he's come across here to this right-hand side. Only one place this ball's going.
You see the shots on goal there on the screen. 5 for St. Louis, only 2 for the Flyers so far.
Great goalkeeping from Catan. Very, very confident. Again, commentators Kersey comes out and he tries to release it early and gets it all wrong. But initially from the long throw, Warrington obviously has a missile. He can throw it into the box, right on top of the 6-yard box. Catan comes out and does well.
So here we are this deep into the first half. The Flyers still with no shots on goal. Flyers are leading the nation in shots this year. St. Louis must be doing something right on defense so far. But Dayton looks pretty composed as well.
Yeah, Dayton really want to get the ball down. Based on how both teams are playing, again, spend a bit more time in the air tonight than we normally see here at Beaujean Field for Dayton. They're wanting to get it down and knock it about in the middle of the park and use that extra man in the middle to keep the ball moving. St. Louis have been pretty direct a couple of times. They've went forward, they've looked to counter-attack and go early. They've looked to get set pieces into the box, but they look like they've got an aerial threat as well. And a couple of chances, obviously the biggest one so far from Coppola when he was through there. Should have done better, but not a great deal at this stage in the game. Again, such big ramifications tonight. You're getting a bit of a tense game just now, 30 minutes in.
So St. Louis sends it back down into the Dayton defensive third. Going to go out of bounds, and it will be the Flyers' ball. Referee making sure to direct the Flyers further on down to where the ball went out.
You mentioned Okpoyo coming on in the middle of the park. Again, it looks to be a straight switch. He's just come on there for Johnson, slotting in the right-hand side, centre midfield.
So another foul at midfield. Possession will go back to the Flyers. Or rather, the ball goes out of bounds. Nope, it's a foul.
Yeah, Warrington want to make sure he gets back in position.
Both these teams surely want to get one in the goal before they go in for halftime.
And
give them that advantage.
This is what Dayton are trying to do. So both centre backs open out. They're holding midfield, and Antwi comes in, looks to get on the ball and link things up. They try and get their full backs high and wide, try and get the extra man on the ball. So far, they've not quite done it with any consistency, as we see CC here on a bit of a run.
Well, they run into each other. No call, good no call by the official.
Yeah, and what it actually does, though, because Dayton open up, they open up so wide, both centre backs are opening up. If they turn it over, it's a 2v2, or as we've already seen, there was a 3v1 situation where Kapoi got in. So need to be careful, Dayton, when they play out their back third, just making sure of the passes.
Billikens taking it over to the corner to get knocked out there. And it will be Flyers' ball. Billikens trying to get a corner there, but unable to pull that one off. Another substitution for the Flyers. This brings in Samawusu.
Looks like he's come in there for a Jago. So again, from a Dayton point of view, not really a great change in shape at any point here. It's just sort of like for like. Owusu's going to come in and play where a Jago played as a centre forward.
Once again, the ball goes out of bounds after being volleyed around. Seems like this ball's been in the air more than it's been on the ground here tonight, Ian.
Yeah, certainly. Like when I've been doing Dayton games this year, they try and get it down and they try and play. St. Louis look to be quite happy, like going early, looking long early, a little bit more direct with some of the things that they're doing. And it's up to Dayton to set the tempo and make sure that they get the ball on the ground, because other than this here day at the black post, they've not had a great deal of joy when the ball's been in there. They're wanting to get it down and play.
Well, Dayton gets the ball back into the box, but again, no real threat there from the Flyers as Tofern comes out and grabs the ball and brings it back down for St. Louis. Just over 13 minutes left here in the first half. 0-0. Flyers trying to get that ball away.
And it's good play initially. Again, it's sort of front to back here from St. Louis. Fire it into Coppola. He does well initially, works the 1-2 with Klein, just loses his footing. Bit of an ambitious shout from down here asking for a penalty. Never a penalty. Then it gets a bit scrappy. Ball kept between the feet. Nothing comes of it, but certainly not a penalty.
So St. Louis advances the ball again down into the Dayton defensive third. It'll go out of bounds.
Ball's going out here again. I'm expecting Warrington to come across. He's just going to look for a long throw again. Might get another St. Louis change here. I don't know if it'll happen before the throw-in.
So here comes the change for St. Louis. That'll bring in number 11, Maud Stidstrup Pedersen.
Scored a wonderful free kick in a last game, Pedersen.
Once again, ball being volleyed around. And Dayton now with a chance to bring it up the near sideline. It's right off of the face of a St. Louis player.
Yeah, Floriani does well actually, because Dayton had men over on the far side, needed to get his body in the way. Once again, Dayton turning the ball over. Svenby really should be going in the book for that one there.
And as predicted, he certainly will be.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He takes a bad touch. He knows he's going to be under pressure. They know the counter-attack's on for the Billikens. Two hands around him, pulls him to the ground. Probably the easiest decision our centre official's going to have this evening.
So Casper Svenby will be in the book for that. The clock stops at 11:21 here in the first half.
Once again, it's Klein over the set piece. You know where it's going to go. He's going to be looking to drop it in here, round about the penalty spot.
Ball up in the air, but it goes out wide.
Yeah, it's a bit one-dimensional there. Not a great deal on that from Klein. He's just fired in the free kick, but doesn't look like anything they've worked on. Just sort of thrown it into a particular area. And again, the Billikens win the initial header, but no great threat from it.
From Suarez to Floriani, back here for St. Louis. They advanced it up the field. They got
a flag up there for offside. It was a late flag. Brown didn't know it was going to be given. He gets an important throw in. So a good ball through from Opoye. Trying to set. It's the sub Pedersen that's come on, trying to set him away. Better though, it's the first time St. Louis have sort of connected 3-4 passes before looking to go in behind. Certainly their game plan tonight to go pretty early. And yep, linesman's right on top of it. No doubt about a decision.
So Dayton sends it back down once again. Flyers trying to make something happen here in the last 10 minutes or so of the first half. St. Louis will lose the handle on the ball. That'll go out of bounds. It'll be a flyer ball.
Referee's given a free kick there for a challenge in the middle of the park. Not sure about it, but he's only 5 yards away, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's Townsend that's went down. Klein's getting the ball, and again, the big guy's coming forward. We see Suarez going up, Easton going up. They've taken it short and early.
Inside, Johnny, inside.
Dayton able to clear it up here once again. And a fight for position.
It's good hold-up play from Owusu, but the Billikens getting bodies around the ball. Certainly recovering in midfield. Buendia was there. He got a bit of help and back up from Floriani, and they deal with the danger. But Dayton aren't really wanting to play that. If that's their game tonight, they go long balls. It looks like it's going to suit the St. Louis team.
Owusu getting hung up there, but no call on that one as well. Flyers over to the far side of the field now.
Cece gets the head down there and runs into trouble. Really can't be getting the head down tonight. He's got to see the field in front of him. Ran up a bit of a dead end and turned the ball over, and could have been worse for the Flyers.
Klein tipping it off to the far side here. St. Louis is making a little bit of a head of steam, but they'll lose the handle on the ball. That ball will go out, but it will be out for a throw-in.
And it's the best 5 minutes from St. Louis so far. And again, the big guys come forward. Warrington going over to take a long throw-in. They've managed to string together a couple of passes. What Klein's doing very cleverly is he's not the guy that runs in behind. He's the guy that checks into feet, and he's almost finding little pockets now between this Dayton back line and their holding midfielder in Antwi, and he's picking up the ball in dangerous areas.
So Warrington with the throw-in on the far side. Headed away by Dayton. A kick up too high and over the top. That'll go out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Flyers.
So far, I would be saying if I was a Flyers coaching staff, like, let's limit giving away corner kicks here. Let's limit giving away throw-ins in our final third, because, I mean, when Warrington comes forward to take it, he really can drop it in right on top of the keeper, and it's certainly proven problematic this evening.
Both teams working hard here, trying to find the weakness in the other. Can't say we're too surprised by what's going on here right now. Both these teams with strong defenses this season as well. Of course, Dayton with that dynamic offense.
See, it's again, though, it's Dayton trying to be brave, trying to play out the back. Both centre-backs have opened up. St. Louis, when they press, they do it as a unit. They turn the ball over again. Dayton can't be given away with 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Warrington again, he's going to come over from left back. You know what's going to happen. Centre backs are going to come up. It's going to be another long ball right in on top of this back line. Eventually, just through volume alone, St. Louis are going to get a chance.
So Warrington goes all the way up on the hill on the side of the field to get some leverage here on this throw in. He heaves it all the way in. Ball back into the box and a header down, and that's a goal for St. Louis.
And it's right on cue. I just said, you keep giving away chance after chance after chance. Eventually they're going to get one. Zengi does well for Dayton initially. He wins the initial header, but it's really poor from the Flyers when the ball falls back out towards Warrington. Not sure if it's Omar or Antwi. Whoever it is, they pull out of the challenge. They don't want to know. Warrington lifts it up, clips a great ball into the area. Just see it here, that's poor there from Omar. He's got to be stronger. Brilliant delivery into the area. And it's a free header 6 yards out.
Yep, Suarez, number 4, with the goal.
And it's the centre-back coming forward again. Every long throw, every free kick, he's been getting his head on things. Dayton giving away too many dead set pieces in their own third. Eventually they get punished. St. Louis take the lead, 1-0.
John Klein with the assist on that goal. Volleying it in there to Suarez, who's able to head it down to the ground, goes right into the goal. So 1-0 now, St. Louis with the lead here with just over 6 minutes to go in the first half. As the clock continues to roll on the field, but not on our screen, but it's coming up. About 6:05 on the clock here at Beaujean Field.
Yeah, St. Louis have done their homework here. They're pressing as a unit. They know how Dayton like to play and knock the ball around. Dayton are trying to do it, but they're simply not able to string enough passes together tonight. Keep turning the ball over.
A kick right into Mods there as he misdirects this. Klein now back out to the outside.
Oh, flags went up. That could have been close. It's a lovely bit of skill actually when the ball comes back to Peterson. Sells the dummy, turns inside, and he's right in on goal. I'll be interested to see that one. Again, officials are right on top of it. Linesman's on this near side, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
5:22 on the clock. Offsides on the Flyers now.
He's given a free kick there on Owusu just for being a bit too physical. Here's the replay on Peterson. Oh, that's tight. That's very tight. And again, Peterson's in. He drops the shoulder, turns inside. That certainly was close.
So Tofern sets him up for St. Louis. Lets the kick rip all the way past midfield. Again, 1-0 now.
Much better from Dayton. Omar picking it up, finding Owusu. Can he get the shot off? It's off the crossbar.
And now a shot right off of a player. Looks like number 18, Lane Warrington, got the worst of that shot.
It's going to be a Flyers corner kick.
Here we are again, Ian, with the shot at Owusu.
Brilliant from Owusu. You know, he does everything right as a centre forward. He gets in on the ball. He works a half yard. You can see exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to find the far corner. Does everything right. Just unlucky to see it cannon off the crossbar. Then from the rebound, Dayton are asking a question about was it a handball, but hard for us to tell from this vantage point. Certainly Warrington slow to get back to his feet slow to get back to his feet there. He's taking a worst of it, and it looks like the officials have decided it's a Flyers corner kick.
So the Flyers get another chance at it here. Their best shot of the night.
But it was better from Dayton. They actually found the ball. I think it was Zengi into the midfield to Omar. Finds a through ball on the ground to Owusu. Much better from Dayton to get the initial chance.
Go back to the middle, headed. Too many blue jerseys there. And
this
they
is
will
trouble.
clear it.
It's men over.
So 3-on-2. It starts to even up a little bit here in the middle of the field. And a good play there by the Flyers to just slow the run.
It's the last-ditch tackle from Zengi again. I think it was the wrong option initially. Anderson breaks with the ball. He's got Klein running through the middle for him. He decides to hold on to it. He goes to Peterson. Still 3v2. They can't quite work the opening. Zengi with a last-ditch tackle. Looks like Ross is going to come on there for Anderson on the left-hand side. Again, just a straight swap. No reason for St. Louis to change what they're doing here. It's working. They're ahead at this point.
Ball out of bounds at midfield. 3:20 on the clock here in the first half. (1-0) St. Louis. As the ball goes out of bounds once again. Well, at this point in the game, it's not like the Flyers are playing back on their heels or concerned. You have another 45 minutes to go in this match, and of course the Flyers have been scoring late in their games as of late.
I'm sure Coach Curry and his staff will be quite happy to get at half-time here and just speak to the team, try and get them focused again for what they need to do second half. I give credit to Billikens. Their shape's good, 4-4-2 without the ball. They know exactly what they're doing. Adedekun or Antwi, whoever the holding midfielder is for Dayton, needs to get on the ball. As you see here, it's Antwi. He's the guy that normally makes things happen, but now that the Billikens are leading, the front two, Peterson or Klein, are quite happy to drop off a little bit, let the Dayton centre-backs have it, and they've got a very good and organised shape without it. When Dayton go long like this, it's not really going to a Dayton body very often. Billikens are dealing with most first balls.
So ball goes out of bounds on the far side. It will be Dayton's ball to throw in. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. This will be Jaden Jones-Riley with the throw in. Jaden throws it into the box. Flyers looking for an opening here. Svenby with a solid kick, but right off the St. Louis player.
Klein's looking for it. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's using his body. He's drawn the foul. It's soft. The referee's bought it, but again, he gets his team out, gets his team up the pitch, and it's really good play from the captain.
So just over 1 minute to go here in the first half. That one too will go out of bounds.
It's poor again from the Flyers. There's got to be a bit of communication back there. Doesn't need to head the ball. Svenby puts it out, and again, it's going to be a long throw coming from Warrington here at the end of the half.
So Eric Leggett will come into the game for St. Louis.
Klein just getting a minute's rest here, just an extra minute before half-time. Fully expect him back out for the start of the second half.
Another long throw in from the Billikens. This one kicked around too, dangerously in the box. And finally cleared out a little bit here for the Flyers. It could be a matter of who touched the ball last.
It's again, Dayton are starting to get a bit riled here. They're shouting, they're asking for all the decisions. They're playing into the Billikens' hands just now, giving away silly set pieces, free kicks, throw-ins, balls into the box. Coach Courier will be happy just to get them in here at halftime and settle them down.
Well, that will do it as the halftime whistle blows. Billikens take a 1-0 lead on a late goal. But we've seen a pretty good one so far. What will happen in the second half and who will be atop the A10 when this is all said and done? We're about to find out.
He was finding pockets of space. He was picking up second balls, and St. Louis really getting more chances towards the end of the half. For St. Louis, same again. You're 1-0 up. You don't need to change anything. Keep doing what you've been doing.
And we've come to find that John Klein is good when he's on the ball and when he's not on the ball as well. A big impact player for the St. Louis Billikens, no doubt about it. So the whistle blows and our second half gets underway. We thank you for joining us from wherever it is you're watching tonight's key matchup here in Atlantic 10 soccer between St. Louis and Dayton. Out of bounds on the far side. Sorry, Ian.
And just looking at the St. Louis lineup, how they've come out here for the second half. So 2 changes from how they started. Back 4 looks to be the same. Midfield, Johnson started the game. He's not in just now. Poirier stays in the team. And on the right-hand side, we saw that Sternberg picked up an early yellow card. He looks to still be on the bench, and Townsend keeps his place in the lineup.
Well, so far the referee's been pretty good.
There's
another one. Just like that, volleys it over the top at St. Louis. And it's Alberto Suarez once again with the goal and a header.
It's textbook what they were all about. It's a direct set piece. It's the big long throw from Warrington. Dayton don't learn the lesson. They don't win the first ball. It's the flick on at the edge of the 6-yard box. All of a sudden Suarez is 3 yards out. All he's got to do is redirect it. He gets a flick on it, puts it in the top corner. No chance for Catan, but it's really poor from Dayton. Firstly giving away the throw-in, then not winning the initial ball when it comes in the box, not reacting quick enough to the flick-on. Suarez can't believe his luck this evening as a centre-back. 5 goals on this evening, 2 of them coming tonight, and now it's an absolute mountain for Dayton to get themselves back into this game.
Well, not even a minute into this second half, and Suarez strikes again. And like you said, just kind of caught Dayton off guard there as a header goes right over the top and right into the back of the net. So
it's so basic, it's so route one, but it's so effective. If it's working, you keep doing it. Warrington's taken every long throw, he's put it in the box, he set up the goal when he crossed it from the second ball. You've just got to recognise that as Dayton. You can't come out and be that sloppy. Now you've got to get 2 goals back here. Need an instant reaction from Dayton as we see them getting a corner kick.
So Andy Sanchez will take the ball from the corner for the Flyers. Flyers with their backs already up against the wall, 1-0, now 2-0 early here in the second half.
And it's a big chance for them actually. It's a ball in from Sanchez. Omar gets across his man, he gets a shot on it, goes past the front post. Like to see that one again, probably closer than it looked. Sanchez whips the ball in, Omar gets there, and keeper's a spectator. He's happy to see it go by his near post.
So Topher now with the goal kick. Plays it back to midfield. Now we're starting to get that real sense of urgency for the Flyers. Like we said right before the break, you go down 1-0 going into halftime. It's not exactly panic mode yet. Obviously, you could come back with a goal. But down 2-0 now.
It's just a dream start to the second half from the Billikens again. Like, it's so basic to give away a free kick or a throw-in rather than that area. At half-time, the whole emphasis should have been on don't give away silly set pieces, get it on the ground, play to our strengths at our field. Instead, within a minute, they find themselves 2 down, and it's such a big ask to come back now. And you're right, instead of any half-time team talk having effect from Coach Courier and his staff, forget everything that's just been said. That completely changes the momentum now.
Certainly changes the game plan from here on out. As we have the referee's whistle and a player down for the Flyers just beyond midfield.
Yeah, this is where I like to see like Zengi. Don't send it long. Every ball that's been in the air tonight has been won by a Billiken. Again, they're looking, that's better. Wide today, get the ball down and try and play.
Klein puts the ball up past midfield. Picked up by Pola. An easy stop there for the Flyers keeper, Gitanos. He sends it back toward midfield.
And what this allows the Billikens to do now is literally sit in their 4-4-2, and they don't need to press on at all. And again, the big direct ball forward, you're sending it up there to Ajago. There's one centre forward up against two centre backs. We've already seen how good Suarez is in there this evening with the 2 goals he's got to his name. Need to try and find a way of getting the ball on the ground to the midfield players, get it out wide to Mel Taquillo, see if we can get him in the game here. Not seen a great deal of him this evening.
Suarez certainly playing the hero here tonight. 5 goals on the season, 2 of them here thus far.
It's a good ball there from Buendia. Sets Anderson away.
Anderson works his way around, tries to find somebody in the middle. And kicked away by the Flyers.
And to your point about the second goal and what it does to Dayton, everything becomes a bit more panicked now. They need to do things faster and faster. And because they'll start to throw more bodies forward in their panic, as we see a foul on Ajago, it'll open up the space for St. Louis to hit on the counter-attack there. One ball from Buendia and Anderson, so much space to run into.
Well, the fact remains you've got to score 1 goal at a time. So the Flyers need to put 1 in the back of the net before they can worry about an equalizer. Just over 40 minutes left here in regulation.
And that's better from Dayton, going short there with Sanchez. Again, when he fires it in the box here, you're asking your big men to go in and win it, but so far anything that's been in the air, the Billikens have certainly had the better of it. Officials getting that one wrong there. I think Jones Riley wins the ball and knocks it off the St. Louis player.
So a double team there gets the ball for the Flyers. Back at midfield, and they try to press out to the far side.
And this is a guy, he wasn't on the ball a lot in the first half, was taken off. Great area, Mel Taquillo puts it into Day at the black post.
Shot and goes wide to the left.
Oh, he gets it all wrong, Manny Day. He does the hard part initially. It's Mel Taquillo. Sanchez releases him on the left-hand side, gets his head up. He knows he's looking for Day and Ajago, puts it in a dangerous area. Day turns back on his left foot. All he's got to do is work the target, make Tofern make a save. As you see here, Mel Taquillo, you know he wants to come on his right foot, clips it to the back post. Ajago can't quite get there. Ball falls to Day. Good control on his left foot. Now just have the composure. Again, lots of bodies around it, but you've got to make the keeper make a save.
One of those where just a little bit too much on the ball, a little bit too much strength. You get that adrenaline pumping when you get down there and you see the back of the net.
That's exactly it. It's that moment he turns back on his left foot and he thinks, I'm going to score, and it just puts way too much on. It gets underneath it. Just pass it onto the target.
So the Flyers now trying to set something up at midfield. Meltoquia now to the inside, but ball will go out the back, and that should be a corner kick for the Flyers, and it is.
And it's good play all round. Floriana, good defending, doesn't dive in, stands up against Meltoquio, but better from Dayton. They've twice got the ball out to the danger man now in the last minute. He wants to run at Floriana. Floriana does well, deals with the danger. Flyers corner.
Sanchez with the kick. A good placement on the kick, but just knocked away by St. Louis. It's a nice hustle play right there, too, by Umar to get up here and make sure they keep possession of that ball.
He's so fast. It looked dangerous for a second. It looked like Capulia could be away there, but he's done well, Omar, just to make up the ground and ensure that it stays 2-0.
So a throw in here by the Billikens. And they advance in. Klein now, dangerous spot here for them as they put the 3rd goal in.
And you think that might just be it this evening. Can't see a way back from that. And again, it's from the initial throw in here on the left-hand side. It's good play from Klein. It's another Flyers mistake. The chance is there to clear the ball. Tries to be too clever and take a touch on the ball. Just as we see, they work it in from the left-hand side. Klein doesn't shoot at goal. He recognises that the better option's on. Slides the ball to the right-hand side. Great strike, in off the crossbar. 3-0 Billikens. It's a long way back now for the Flyers.
Well, Brogan Townsend, the goal scorer on that one off of the ball from Klein. So once again, Klein being an impact player And we're going to get a substitution, it looks like, here for the Billikens.
Yeah, Peterson's coming back in up front as a straight swap there from Capella.
Yep.
But it's so basic again from Dayton as the ball was worked from left to right. They had a chance to intercept it, tried to do too much. Great play though from Klein. You can see why this is a guy in form. He doesn't overthink it. He doesn't just strike it at goal. He finds the pass, slips Townsend in with a first time strike, and at 3-0 now, I really can't see a way back for this Flyer team.
Ian, do you think that's part of it tonight too, that this Flyer team's kind of psyched themselves out a little bit, knowing the implications of this match and how good St. Louis could be?
I mean, again, sometimes that stuff can have an effect, certainly, and you're talking about a team that, you know, obviously went so deep in a tournament last year, won the regular season, won the conference tournament, but from Dayton tonight, they're an undefeated team coming in on their home field with a record so strong. They've just not done the basics right this evening at certain times, whether that's been too hyped up, whether that's a lack of discipline or a lack of concentration. It's not like they've been cut apart for St. Louis to score their goals. Two have been basic set pieces. The last one's a throw-in down here. The ball should be getting stopped before it even gets to the Dayton box, and when it does, lovely play from Klein, recognises he's got a man over, and at 3-0 now, you really can't see a way back.
So just over 36 minutes left here in the match. 3-0 now, St. Louis leads. 2 goals earlier by Alberto Suarez, and the last goal by Brogan Townsend. Flyers looking for any opportunity to put one of these in the back of the net and try to work their way back into this match.
Yeah, and it's certainly up to Coach Courier and his staff now to do something different, because so far what they're doing hasn't been working. At 3-0 down, they've got 3 men up top. Meltaquillo again getting the ball here, hasn't touched it a great deal on this near side. Day's had a couple of opportunities, but maybe Owusu gets introduced and he goes to 2 up top to try and change it up.
There's a shot, but it gets deflected.
Good play though from Zengi. You talk about needing to do something else. Zengi stepping out from his left centre back position, linking up play, stepping in with the ball and looking to have a strike. Why not? Gets a flick, corner kick to Dayton.
So Sanchez once again on the corner kick. And he puts it up. The Flyers try to put it back down on the ground as quickly as they possibly can, but it gets kicked back out to midfield.
Yeah, it's just not going to be a way back into the game for Dayton tonight unless they get enough bodies in and around the ball when they fire it into the box. They really are going to have to find something different tonight. Any high ball that's going in towards Suarez and Easton is, you know, it's bread and butter for them. They're dealing with it, and they're dealing with it comfortably every single time. Dayton, the emphasis on them to try and find and do something different.
That ball goes out of bounds, and it will be the Flyers' ball. So at this point, if you are Coach Courier, are you just trying to find creative ways to use the players you have to try to set up something like a different look?
The back 4, what they're doing just now, 4 at the back, 3 in the midfield. They're not winning it in the midfield, so maybe 4-4-2 to go like for like. Just something different, a tweak to the shape. 2 guys up top. If you're going to play direct, have at least a second big man up in there to try and win the ball back for you. Just something different. Give St. Louis something else to look at, because so far, everything that Dayton have thrown at them, they've dealt with, and dealt with it comfortably.
So the Flyers trying to set something up here. Make their way back toward the middle of the field. The shot is on target, but it is right at the keeper, and he'll haul it right in.
Yeah, it's good play. It's good play from Meltaquillo. Picks it up, comes in on his right-hand side. It's a decent strike, one you'd comfortably expect Tofern to save. But that's better from the Flyers. It's at least a shot on target. Yes, it's 25 yards out. Yes, you'd expect Tofern to deal with it and save it, but at least Meltaquillo's been direct. He's getting on the ball and running at people. You ask me what would I do? I would be spending the next 5 minutes trying to get the ball out to his feet, because when it goes direct in here, again, the 2 centre backs are just dealing with everything.
It really feels like St. Louis has won the game in the middle of the field. They haven't let Dayton shoot on goal nearly as much as they normally do. This team, of course, leading the nation in shots. And when the shots have come, they have not been on target.
they're very well drilled. Like, they've got 2 dominant centre backs. They've got a back 4. They've got a 4 in front of them. The unit's really well organised without the ball. You can see why they're having success. And then in Klein, they've got a danger man. He just finds little pockets of space to get on the ball. And obviously, you know, Warrington and his long throw, that's a massive you know, thing to have in your arsenal. The fact that any time the ball goes out 30 yards from goal, you can throw it right into the 6-yard box.
So the Flyers, the kick past midfield, but it right to a St. Louis player.
It doesn't come off for Jones Riley, but
This
it's
is
the ball he's
Klein.
got to look for.
So here's Klein once again with the ball, trying to make something else happen. He's going to kick it into Catano, who's going to pick it up easily for the Flyers.
Klein's been excellent tonight. He's been really busy, playing as one of the 2 strikers. Sort of drops off almost into the little number 10 hole at times, and you can see there's creativity there. Didn't quite get the pass right, but there's a lot of ability in that right foot.
We mentioned Klein during pregame as well as the player to watch out for St. Louis. Only one of 2 active players still in NCAA Division I. It's got 25 goals and 25 assists. He's definitely one of those players that we could see playing beyond the scope of college soccer at some point.
Yeah, just an intelligent player. You can see, like, when he picked the ball up, even there was nothing on, so he keeps the ball for his team. He doesn't just give it away as Dayton look to go direct again. Oh, a little bit casual there from Warrington at a back post. Tofern does well to come out and make sure that Dayton don't find a way back into the game.
So folks in the Red Scare on the far side, a little quieter than they would normally be at the 3-0 score, but drummer's still going. And a good crowd here tonight at Beaujean Field. It's a beautiful night for a soccer match.
And it's good play there from Buendia. Omar, I said, can be dangerous when he gets dribbling. Buendia simply not going to let him pick up the ball. Wins a free kick for his team. He's all over Omar as soon as he picks up the ball. Excellent from Buendia in the centre of the park.
St. Louis advancing the ball downfield. Going to get a whistle for that contact.
Yeah, and it's good from Peterson. He's dropped the shoulder. He's won his team a free kick, and once more you're going to see Suarez and Easton coming forward from the back, and you know exactly what's going to happen here. It's going to be Klein over the ball. He's going to look to whip it into a dangerous area. So far, if the first 60 minutes are anything to go by, you expect the St. Louis head to get on the ball.
So referee stops the clock with just over 30 minutes left in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, just another reminder, you and Long, men's wedding band. Please come up to one of the front desks.
Klein moves the ball up just ever so little much there. Now being advised to put it back. It's very subjective where those balls go sometimes.
Yeah, you always try and steal a yard or two. It's strange because you're always trying to steal a yard or two until you get a free kick outside the box, and then sometimes you're trying to walk back a yard or two, just give yourself a better angle for a strike on goal.
All right, everyone gets set here. Klein with the kick. Into the box, deflected just wide of the goal.
Yeah, it's Floriani this time, and again it's another ball into the box that St. Louis get on the end of. Dayton, you've either got to stop the ball when it comes into the box, or you've got to stop the supply line from the ball coming into the box. They've not been able to do either this evening, as we see mass changes here for both teams.
Looks like Johnson and Leggett coming back in for St. Louis. Tezzy Swalita comes in for the Flyers. There's another look at the shot on goal. And
yeah, it's just a standard free kick from Klein. He puts it into a dangerous area. Floriani runs across the face of it, but Dayton need to do better. Either winning the ball when it comes in the box or simply not giving away silly free kicks. I think it might actually be Swalita. You said Swalita. I think it might actually be Kanyani here. He's coming at left back for Svenby as a straight swap.
Yep, you're correct, number 6.
just a natural left foot. So in terms of Coach Courier changing things, what he's looking to do, Kenyani getting forward on the left-hand side offers some natural width with his left foot.
They get tied up, but there's no call on that. There will be on that one, though. Feet taken out from under him.
Again, though, this is where Dayton better. They've gone short. They're actually trying to play now. Once the ball goes in the box, again, Easton, he's just dropping off. Him and Suarez are dealing with a Jago. A Jago's not got a lot of feed off of, and when you're 1v2 in there, it's so thankless every time the ball comes in. You feel like you can't get on the end of it.
The ball sent down by the Flyers. Flyers with an opportunity here to set something up. Jaden Jones-Riley on the near side. Works around the first man, but can't get it around the second.
Just a little bit heavy on his touch there, but better from him as well. Trying to do something different, trying to come inside, and he's coming off scoring a worldly goal with his left foot.
Good play there by Jones-Riley. Ball back to midfield. It seems once again every time the Flyers get an opportunity down there on the third of the field where you think they'd have a chance to score, something happens, they lose possession.
Anything in and around the box, and again, it's a credit to this Billikens back line. They're very well drilled. When Dayton go back to front like this, they're quite happy. They're picking up second balls here. There's not really a great deal of threat to them. The only time Dayton have created anything is when they've actually managed to find feet and play into feet, and there's not been enough of that tonight for Coach Courier and his team. The Billikens have been fantastic defensively, and again, their two centre halves just dealing with anything that comes in the air.
St. Louis ball once again as they throw it in on the far side. Coming around with the ball will be Leggett. Leggett back to the middle. That's Pedersen. And he sends it back into the middle to Anderson. More dangerous play down here on the Dayton end of the field. The ball gets kicked out of bounds. It will be a throw-in, though, for St. Louis.
I think it says where Coach Kalish thinks he is this evening, the fact that he's brought off Klein here with a good 25-30 minutes still to go in the game. He obviously thinks at this point that the game's won.
So St. Louis with the throw-in. Warrington again with those long throws.
And that's better from Dayton. It's Day going up. He's winning the initial ball, and now Dayton have a chance to break as a result of winning the initial header.
Here's what the Flyers need as they take the ball down the pitch.
That's great defending, you have to say, for the Billikens. He's just on the field, but Leggett does ever so well. I didn't fancy him in that foot race, but he got himself back in, did ever so well, and got a toe on the ball for his team.
You can really see the frustration now from the Flyers.
Yeah, and that's only going to grow here over the last 25 minutes. They knew the significance of tonight's game. There's nothing worse as a player when you're playing and it feels like the game's getting away from you and you can't find a way back into it.
Billikens send the ball back down the field. Just over 25 minutes left here. The Billikens 3, Flyers 0.
Foul given against the Jago here.
Referee, again, there's more of that frustration we're talking about, Ian.
Referee's going to book here again. It's silly. It's silly play, so there's no need for it. Johnson, I think it is. He's just come back on as one of the subs there. He's just trying to slow things down and make sure Dayton can't take a quick one. But you know the referee's a little bit card happy now at this point in the game. Just walk away. Your team's 3-0 up. He's got himself needlessly booked. And as a result, he's got himself subbed off the field now. Buendia coming back in for him.
So Buendia back on the pitch. Flyers now sending Wusu back out.
Yeah, and it looks like he's coming on for Meltoquio, so Wusu's going to go over to the left-hand side here. Meltoquio, one of his quieter nights this evening, not really had a great deal of the ball.
Flyers send it down, headed in toward the box. Being volleyed around once again. Flyers trying to get a lucky bounce. Once again, St. Louis defense steps right up when they need to.
Kenyani on the left foot, he's looking for a Jago. Falls here today.
Flyers working the ball around, but they just can't seem to penetrate the wall that is the St. Louis defense.
Yeah, they've dropped off about 10 yards here, St. Louis, but again, the shape's really good. Quite happy for Dayton to have it to a certain point, and then they'll go engage and stop the ball coming into the box.
Now it gets kicked away.
Yeah, it's a bit better though from Dayton. At least they're trying to find a solution now by prodding and probing around the edge of the box as we see another couple of changes here coming.
So Jaden Jones-Riley will throw it in.
And checking in for the Flyers. Number 21, Michael.
Adedeku's come back in. I'm just looking to see who's going off. It looks like it's Sanchez and Day that's come off for the Flyers.
So maybe a little bit of a different look here. A little over 23 minutes left here in the game. Flyers keeper comes way out. Does Catano to try to set something up here in midfield. Flyers moving it around. Billikens being very patient here. That's what a 3-0 lead can give you. Ball kind of comes loose for a second. I think the most disappointing thing if you're a Dayton fan tonight, you're so used to seeing this dynamic offense at work, and it just really hasn't been there tonight.
It's what they've done this evening. This is better though. They find the Jago. If you're going to go long, you've got to find them. They managed to find the Jago. Can't quite get it down to get his shot off. Ball falls to Cisse here on the right-hand side.
Going back into the middle, but can't get it past St. Louis defenders.
Yeah, it's a blue wall. Every time they get to a certain point, it just hits a blue wall. Brown picking up the second ball here for the Flyers. It's better though from Dayton. They've actually knocked it about a little bit now and tried to probe and work an opening, almost like they've figured out that if we just put it in the box, we're not going to win it.
That ball kicked out of the back by the Billikens. It'll be a corner kick for the Flyers. So after Andy Sanchez takes all the corners, it'll be a Adedekun taking this one. Sanchez now on the bench for the Flyers.
Try something different though from the set piece. Okay, it didn't come off, but he tried something different. Buendia again in the middle of the park. He's just hounding absolutely everything. It's great play from him. Gets his team out, wins the ball.
St. Louis bringing it back down, but stopped there by Catano, who sends it back out to midfield.
Yeah, it's good talking from Catana. Heard the shout of keeper from up here. He does well, comes out and clears the danger. It's going to be offside here. He's just went a little bit early on this side, Anderson.
All right, let's check in with Joe Solomon, who's down on the sidelines. Joe.
Two completely environments down here on the side of the field. As you know, the Flyers, you could see the frustration, not really switching things up. Got a few subs in, but just can't seem to get anything going. And St. Louis has all the momentum. And assuming they hold on to win this game, as they're up 3-0 with just over 20 minutes remaining, it would be a huge statement win for them, to say the least.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that as always.
And the onus is on Dayton to try and do something different here. St. Louis absolutely don't want to change anything. 3-0 up, job done, clean sheet on the road. 3 goals, the set pieces have been working. Why change anything? Dayton are the ones that have to try and find something, and so far you'd have to say all they've done is change the personnel. Haven't really changed shape at this point. Hasn't quite worked for them yet, anything they've tried.
Well, this performance tonight by St. Louis is going to say a lot about the upcoming tournament as well. Could St. Louis be the favorites heading into this A-10 tournament?
It's amazing though how you match up against certain teams, because I'm sure there's teams that are watching St. Louis tonight and thinking, yeah, they're a decent side, but we can deal with their aerial threat. We're quite happy to play against them. They'll have most of the ball and we'll try and hit them on the counter-attack.
Flyers coming into tonight's game, number 19 in the nation. It's over a week ago, number 16, their highest ranking ever.
It's great wide play from Owusu, and it's a good ball into the box. He does ever so well to beat his two men, puts it into a dangerous area. Now when he crosses the ball, finally Dayton get the Billikens turned, and all of a sudden it's a threatening cross into the area.
Flyers back into the box, just too much on it. No one can catch up, and it'll go out the back for a goal kick. Some subs coming in for St. Louis. This will be number 10. This will be Klein back in.
It's going back to the front two. Give them a bit of a rest here, but Dayton have grown in momentum over the past 10 minutes. You would expect it with them chasing a goal, but obviously Coach Kalish decided he wants to get Klein back in there and Capolo back in there as well, just to try and get a bit of stranglehold of the ball when it goes up the field.
Well, like we said, the Flyers not likely to make a big comeback here tonight, 3-0, with just over 18 minutes to go here in this match. They'll have a chance for a little bit of redemption coming up here on Tuesday. They play Detroit Mercy at 7 p.m., the home finale here at Beaujean Field. This ball ripped ahead.
Yeah, Zengi's done well there because Klein found himself again in a lovely little area. Looked like he was favourite to get to it, but Zengi's pace gets him across and manages to deal with a threat.
Well, Klein's one of those guys that when you see him, you don't think he's as fast as he is until he's on top of you.
And he's also an intelligent player as well. He gets in positions to get the ball. You know, he finds himself between the centre backs there, and that's not by accident.
Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll go to the Billikens. So more subs coming in, both for the Flyers and for the Billikens. So it'll be number 2, Donnie Ross, coming in back into the game for St. Louis.
Goal scorer Townsend coming out. His job's done here in the second half.
While Sakalis coming in for the Flyers.
And I'm wondering there with Brown, I sort of looked at him, Logan Brown, he looked to have some padding on his right leg, his right knee, so maybe Coach Courier sort of resigned to the fact that this one might be getting away from him tonight and just looking to protect Brown.
Still another week or so of regular season action to go here in the A-10 as we're winding down the 2022 regular season. Back in the box, a chance of the Flyers, and that one's going to go to the back of the net.
It's not going to be given. The flag's up on the far side here. Certainly not going to be given. Cisse come in, the crowd reacted, they thought it was a goal, but referee straight away whistles and calls it off. I'm assuming it's for an offside flag. We can't quite see it from our vantage point here, but certainly looks... Cisse's on the back post now, just as the ball gets worked out to the left-hand side. Cross comes in initially. There's no offside there. I wonder if he's given handball against Cisse. Maybe the right hand outstretched. You can see straight away the Billikens claiming it's come off his hand. Possibly the official on this side's given the handball. He's in a better position to see it.
Well, partner, I think one word describes that, and that's unlucky tonight for the Flyers.
And it sort of sums up their night. When they finally get a ball to fall to them or bounce to them, it bounces up and it bounces up at Cisse's arm.
Just over 15 minutes remain. Again, St. Louis with a 3-0 lead. Flyers trying to advance the ball. This will be Klein again back out to midfield.
Yeah, and it's great vision as well to find his strike partner there. Coppola just going to hold it up for his team.
Shove there near the St. Louis bench.
It's a little bit naughty and unnecessary. He didn't need to do it there.
Looks like everybody's okay, though, thankfully.
Yeah, it's just a silly one. It's unnecessary. Again, refereeing another night might have booked him for that. This is a frustrating thing, actually, from a Dayton point of view now. They've started to fire the ball out to the left-sided striker and actually play on the ground, trying to work the opening. The last 10 minutes has been the best 10 minutes they've had in this game, and the majority of their sort of success, if you want to call it that, has come down the left-hand side since Kenyani's come on and since Owusu's went out there.
Flyers trying to keep possession of the ball here. Right near the sideline. And amazingly, it does not go out. But it will now out the back, and that'll be a corner kick for the Flyers.
It's a good challenge. It's a sliding challenge from Floriani. He does well, but again, better from Dayton. Getting it on the left-hand side, trying to work the opening, not just putting the ball into the box, giving himself a chance to maybe create something.
Well, Ian, like you said, looking for whatever you might call successes here. A goal here, maybe a little bit of a moral victory, a little bit of a pat on the back, something to show that they can penetrate this defense.
There's a chance. It's a big chance, and it's a goal.
There it is.
It's on the left-hand side, and we're set up now for a massive last 14 minutes. Dayton work the corner. It's again the first time they've done something different. They do the short corner, find the ball into the far post. For the first time the ball goes in the box. They don't hit Suarez. They don't hit Easton. It's a big leap at the back post, just trying to see who nods it back across the face. Can't quite tell, but it falls perfectly to Cisse. Taps it home. We've got a finish on our hands here with 14 minutes to go.
Osaseno Cisse putting the Flyers on the board. 3-1 now. 13:40 on the clock. That fired up the Flyer faithful on the far side, but the ball's going to go out of bounds.
You know, instead of it being a comfortable last 15 minutes, this game looked dead and buried. All of a sudden, the crowd's back in it, as you say. Dayton have got a chance here if they can find something from this, get an opportunity for a second goal. All of a sudden, we could be in for a grandstand finish.
And like you said, it's all about this left-hand side with Kenyane and Cisse.
Any bit of joy they've had is from getting it down and playing down the left-hand side and working the opening.
St. Louis brings it back out now once again.
Look at the pace of Zengi there, just making up the ground on Klein. It's good play from Klein initially, but Zengi, he gave him about 5 yards of the start and he was on him by the time he got to the ball.
So this firing up both the teams and the crowd here late in the game. The late goal there by Osaseno Cisse, putting the Flyers on the board finally. Remember the Flyers last time out against VCU, they scored 2 goals in the last 8 minutes. If they're able to do that here tonight, they could come away with the draw or the win. There's a ball into the box being knocked around, but it's going to be a...
Jago's been given a foul there. He's just leaning on Easton to make sure he gets up and he gets a flick on the ball. It's not a bad idea from Jones Riley. He tries to clip it into a Jago, but it's the type of ball that Suarez and Easton have been dealing with all night, and you see the frustration from a Jago. He's having to lean on his centre back to try and win a flick on.
So Tofern with the kick back out to midfield. Definitely more of a sense of urgency now from the Flyers.
The Billikens now have just got to be sensible here and manage the game. They've still got a 2-goal lead with 12 minutes to go. Just need to, you know, take the sting out of the game here and run the clock down every chance they get.
All the way down the field come the Flyers. Does the splits, gets back up. Tries to get around the defense.
It's great defending.
To the inside, up in the air.
It's going to be a foul there. It's a dangerous kick from a Flyer. It's accidental from Cisse. He's looking for the spectacular overhead kick there. And, referee's having a word with him here. He might be going into the book for that one. The ball's falling out there. You can see what he's trying. He's trying to overhead kick, but defensively again, the Billikens well organised. Win the first header, and then Warrington's there just to make sure there's no easy free contact. And no doubt about it, it's a high foot and it's dangerous play, and he's possibly a bit fortunate to avoid picking up a yellow card. .11 minutes on the clock. Flyers down by a couple goals.
A little too much contact there as well. The ref's going to stop the clock once again.
Yeah, we're going to get another yellow card here. Looks like Townsend's going to pick it up, the goal scorer. A little bit late on Cisse. Referee's decided it warrants a yellow card.
Having a tough time getting his attention, but it will be issued to Brogan Townsend of St. Louis. And the Flyers here with another chance off of a set piece. Billikens patiently waits for the signal. There's the whistle. Ball back in play. Down on the ground.
It's going to be a Dayton ball here if he sees it out. Yeah, it's going to be a Dayton corner kick.
So the Flyers trying to set something up here.
Seemed like this game was sort of gone from Dayton, but certainly there's going to be a dramatic last 10 minutes.
The second goal goes in. This is going to change the entire dynamic of the game.
It's got to be better than that, though. It's Kenyani with his left foot. It's the in-swinger. He's got to beat the first man.
The Flyers with another chance here. Sends it up high.
Kenyani with a good touch can play it back here. I believe it's Antwi's just going to fire it into the box. Excellent for Klein. Great play from Klein. Not sure about the official there with that decision. Not sure about that one at all. Klein does ever so well. You can see from the reaction of the Dayton players.
Umar issued the yellow card.
Omar uses his strength to win the ball and try and keep the ball. Klein's clever and gets back in. I'm not sure that it's a free kick there. The referee, I think, got that one wrong, but excellent from Klein defensively.
Well, you can understand the frustration when you're playing down by a couple goals and you've got a little bit of head of steam there. And when it gets stopped on what?
And it's good play from Klein initially. He recognises where the ball's going to go. Omar's strong and does well. Referee obviously decides there's a little trip in there. Doesn't appear to be a great deal in it, and you can understand Omar's frustration again, circumstances and chasing the game, but you can't react like that. There's only going to be one outcome, and he unnecessarily goes into the book as well.
Well, John Klein a factor once again for his team. There's a ball up high.
Jago could have taken it in his stride there. It was just a hit and hope ball, but it nearly fell perfectly for a Jago.
Too much blue around these balls.
And this is good game management now. This is good game management now from St. Louis. So breaking things up, killing the clock. Every time they get a free kick here, they can take 30 seconds off the clock. They won't be sending their centre-backs up anymore. There's no need for that now, as we see Suarez is going to take it, and he'll probably just clip it in the corner. But what it does is it stops any Dayton momentum. It runs another 30 seconds off the clock, and they're managing the game well at this point.
Flyers able to kick it back out to midfield.
Buendia's been excellent tonight in the middle of the park. He's won every ball. Every 50-50 that's been in there, he's got a foot on it.
Fight for possession back and forth between the Flyers and the Billikens. They get it back out to midfield. Just over 8 minutes left in this game. Again, we mentioned earlier the Flyers scoring 2 goals in the last 8 minutes last weekend against VCU. There's a takedown on the far side, and that'll get a whistle.
Yeah, no, it's not along with that. I think he's just given a free kick, the throw in. He's just allowing for the substitutions there. It was good play. Initially, Suarez reads the game well, strides out with it. Owusu does well to get a challenge in on it. Referee's quite happy to let that one go, but again, a couple more changes here coming from St. Louis, just as they try and slow the clock down, break the game, don't allow for any momentum.
So Seth Anderson returns to the St. Louis lineup. The clock will stop at 8:02. Get things sorted out here. And it will be that aforementioned throw in here for St. Louis. See if the Flyers can bring it up here on the left side once again. It's where they've had a lot of their success tonight.
Yeah, might end up being too little too late, but certainly since Kenyani's come on, a natural left foot, and Owusu out on that side, they've had a lot more joy going down the left-hand side before then trying to find a way into the box.
Back over to the near side, back to the middle. And once again, ball deflected off of a St. Louis player.
Yeah, I've mentioned the two St. Louis centre backs tonight, but actually the right back, Floriani's had an excellent game as well. Really does a good job of getting out and stopping the cross from coming into the box.
Jones Riley sends it down. And once again, every time it seems like Dayton gets a kick on the ball, there's always a St. Louis player right in front of him.
Suarez positionally is so clever. He just puts himself in an area, seems to know where the ball's going to drop, and deals with everything that comes into the box. And now they're so deep, Dayton can't get in behind them. They're having to throw in high and hopeful balls and see if they can win second balls here. Want a free kick there.
There's a shot, but right into the keeper, Tofern.
Official decided to give Dayton the benefit of the advantage there. I'm not sure they'd have wanted that. It's a great area, 20 yards out. I think at that point, Coach Courier would have rather had a free kick given and a chance to get a strike on goal.
So clock stops at 6:01.
Yeah, it's certainly a foul. It's Kenyani, I think, again, caught late. I'm not sure actually who it is. And shot ends up coming in from Omar on his weaker foot, but 20-25 yards out. I'm sure Coach Courier would have happily had a free kick given and had a chance to strike on goal.
Tofern with the big boot. Flyers once again trying to do something here in the last few minutes.
Brilliant from Klein again. He's just so impressive this evening, even without the ball. Working back in, not letting Cece get up ahead of steam, winning the challenge and stopping the Dayton attack at source.
Flyers again moving it up that left side. Going to come all the way back to Catano now.
Now you have to credit this Billikens team there, because with 14-15 minutes to go, when Dayton got the goal, the crowd was certainly up and you thought, well, what sort of reaction are we going to get here towards the end of the game? But they seem to have done enough to take the sting out of the game at this point.
A little less than 5 minutes remain. Flyers trying to find the back of the net once again. Get themselves back into this game.
Oh, he's went down, he's looking for the penalty. Referee's not giving it.
Ball kicked out back.
Wonder what he's given here, referee. No, just looks like he's signalling for the substitution to be made. Certainly Dayton were looking for it. Dayton continued forward with the ball. Poor strike in the end over the bar, but question was asked, was there a contact in the box here? Was it going to be a penalty kick? Referee's right on top of it, didn't seem interested at all.
Checking in for the Billikens, number 19, Jack Micah.
Initially, it's good step to win the ball, and it cuts inside the Wusu. Not a lot in that for me. He's gone to ground easily looking for it there, and I think the officials got that one correct.
May not have even been much contact there at all on that. Jack Micah comes in for the Billikens. A little shoving around for the ball here on the Dayton defensive end. And it'll be kicked out of bounds.
Yeah, he's going to say it flicked off a Billiken player there, so it's going to be a Dayton ball.
4 minutes remaining. 3-1 St. Louis with the lead. Klein goes down and gets the whistle.
Yeah, wins his team another free kick there. He's not happy about the contact either, Klein, but just good game management from their captain. He's been excellent this evening. Suarez will get a lot of the attention because he scores 2 goals, certainly, but Klein just put himself around, picked up great areas to win the ball and connect, and a lovely ball for the 3rd goal as well. He's been fantastic for his team this evening.
So St. Louis doing everything they can to help that clock tick down little by little. Up 2 goals. From the Flyers once again advancing it to midfield. And just kind of gets past.
Yeah, it's poor from Cisse. He's taking his eye off the ball there. He's thinking about what he's going to do instead of controlling the ball, and the ball just rolls under his leg. And at this point, the Billikens are going to see it out here. You'd have to say on the night, deserved winners. Dayton have shown a bit of something in the past 15-20 minutes, but unfortunately for them, it's been too little, too late.
So another throw in for the Billikens. St. Louis now getting dangerously
that's
close.
The penalty. He's looking for it now. Referee says no. It's a bit like the Dayton one. Probably a bit more in this as Okpoye goes through. He's certainly looking for the decision. Probably goes to ground a little bit too easy himself there. No need to. He was through on goal if he stayed up.
Yeah, the Flyers kind of taking their eye off the prize there. Not playing as strong defense as they possibly could on this end when they're trying to get the goal on the other.
You got to love it though from a referee. The challenge there is pretty soft as well, but it's outside the box and it's a whole lot easier to give.
So right to the keeper, Tofern.
Yeah, and throughout this St. Louis team this evening, they really have been excellent. Defensively, very, very strong. Warrington with his dangerous throw-ins is certainly going to cause problems for teams here when we get into the tournament as well. Middle of the park, Buendia hasn't put a foot wrong, and we say Klein, you know, he's been in and around it, setting up the 3rd goal as well. So you can certainly see why the St. Louis team's on a bit of a run just now.
Little trip up there on the far side, but no call once again. Both these teams just trying to find ways to get a whistle from the ref. 1 minute remains.
1 minute remaining.
Getting pretty physical now. As if they weren't already.
It's a great ball. Great ball into a good area. Wusu, I believe it is, it's chasing it in, just can't quite get there.
Tofern comes up with the ball. He'll take his time here before he kicks it away. Puts out a pretty flat kick. It will eventually roll out of bounds. It'll be a Dayton throw-in. Well, 20 seconds on the clock. Flyers down 3-1.
That's a nice touch there for Coach Courier. Looks like he's just bringing on one of his seniors on senior night for the end of the game.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, the final whistle blows here on a night that is definitely disappointing for the Dayton Flyers, but a big night for the St. Louis Billikens as they come into Beaujean Field and take down the undefeated Dayton Flyers.